day, YouTube. It is Uncle Lord here, and today I want to talk about Witchblade number 20 from Image/Top Cow. I really enjoyed this book, and they're on, I guess you would call this maybe their third arc. And it started off in the last issue with Sarah Pazzini, the one that wields the Witchblade. She is allured by this mysterious green-haired woman, Aphrodite, and by the end of the issue, she is killed by her, only to be spared by the power of the Witchblade. And she's also investigating a series of murders that are connected to this technology company that produces these smart locks at all of these crime scenes, and they're also really in the AI. This is not going to be a blow-by-blow telling of the story. If you follow this channel, you know I do not do that. I think the joy in comic books is discovery and getting into the story for yourself. But I think that one of the most important and intriguing questions throughout this is something that I hadn't considered in a lot of stories about AI and robots and androids. And even, it's something that is underlined and kind of unspoken in the Blade Runner universe, which I'm a big fan of the Blade Runner comic universe, is the lack of autonomy and how, why do we make these humanoid robots that can think for themselves, yet we make them subservient to our wills? And during the course of this investigation, she goes to the headquarters and talks to the, head of this company, and he is trying to sell her on the idea of these intelligent robots and the plus sides of them. And they're on this page right here. It's cool. You see this huge 2-page panel with the Aphrodite android here and the conversation she's having with them. And we'll pick it up right here on the page here. And it says, "You yourself said you wanted a slave if they couldn't feel no pain. The bottom line is you want a blank slave. If that wasn't the point, why would you make them in human likeness? Make them say these trite, obedient things and make them, effable." We'll just say, yeah, that's the word. And his response is, "So you would object less if they all look like refrigerators?" And Sarah, the main detective, our protagonist, says, "I don't freaking know, probably. All you've done is provide positive reinforcement training for us to treat human beings as objects. They see the robot's pretty face and give her a command. They get used to giving any pretty face command and feeling resentment then rage when they aren't obeyed. Once they are used to being treated like they're kings, they loathe having anyone as equals. Once they see themselves as our master, they'll only see others as slaves." And that was a very deep back and forth in this book for me, because like I said, it's something that's underlined in the Blade Runner universe, but in a way, creating these AIs, we're conditioning ourselves to treat everybody like mindless AI, and we're losing empathy through technological advancement. And I thought that was very smart to put in a action-packed, beautifully drawn book. And this book is beautifully drawn. You got multiple big 2-page panels throughout the book, big action sequences. And you got this here featuring Aphrodite and Sarah Pazzini finally linking up in battle. If you are not reading this book, I really encourage you to. The art feels big. The action feels like it's moving inside the page. Very, very deep lore and storytelling. And if you want to catch up, I think if you can, get issue 19 while you can, because that is the first book and most essential to the story arc. But yeah, brilliant art. The cover matches the inside, so if you like the cover, you'll definitely like the inside. It is the same story as the original 90s version, but with updated art and more of a modern story set in present times. A reset, but it's still true to the original lore. So that's my thoughts on it. Witchblade number 20, get it while you can. And comic book stores, like I said, look for number 19 as well. These both work very well. You get a good introduction to the Aphrodite character and the new cases that she's working on. Sarah Pazinia, our protagonist. You get to meet her new partner and find out a little bit about that backstory. And you can also collect earlier issues in trade paperback form, which I would highly suggest. So that's my thoughts. If you guys like the content, you can contribute by buying me a coffee with the QR code on the screen right now. But most importantly, like, subscribe, share if you dig it, and go out and support your local comic book store. And if you don't have a local comic book store, I get all my books from Midtown Comics. They have the easiest to use website and the best prices online. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. You know I will. I'm out.